Hello, Misfits. This is Kate.
And this is Kevin.
Welcome to Horrorwood. We have a new Patronian to shout out.
Yes, we do.
Jen. On Patreon. She signed up for a year.
Jen, we love you.
Thank you so much. We love all of our subscribers, whether you're monthly, whether you're yearly. Thank you. It helps us out a ton. We also have a couple of Apple subscribers who signed up for a yearly subscription. Thank you guys so much. We don't know your names because Apple doesn't share that.
Oh, they don't share that? Oh,
no.
Damn. Well, we love you.
We do.
You know who you are.
You sure do.
You
We
know.
don't.
We don't.
But you do.
But yes.
And thank you for listening. And while we're shouting people out, I want to shout out a YouTube listener of ours.
Ooh.
Jennifer Warfel Terrell. Girl, I hope I got that right. She found us fairly recently and has been binging all the episodes. She always leaves comments, which we love. And a couple of the things she's mentioned are a little spooky.
Oh.
A little paranormally.
Paranormal, if you will.
And we all will. Yes. Also, I love how you said, oh, like something had
I'm sorry.
you.
It's my sinuses. So different tones and sounds are going to come out different.
I see.
You heard me at the bottom of the stairs go, oh.
And I was like, what? And you're like, oh, I just my body. It's just me making sounds. Side note, I had a lot of beverages before you came over.
You're hydrated?
I'm extremely hydrated, but I also might have to pause in the middle of this to pee, so that's why.
Hey, you do what you gotta do.
I have two of those beverages right here.
I see them.
And I already drank the other one. But yeah, it's just been a constant rotation
of beverages.
Of liquids.
Beverage goblin.
Protein drinks, water, espressos. Just keep them coming.
Drink it all up.
We're
What's in the
doing it.
green tumbler?
That's a protein drink.
Ah.
Yes.
Fabuloso.
All right. So back to Jennifer from YouTube. On our episode of the Pfister Hotel, which I did with Matt, we talk about the weird ghostly things we experienced in the hotel room when we stayed there. And then at the end of the episode, I say something like, all right, we're going to peace out. And then it's just our music playing. Well, Jennifer commented, quote, I follow along with the transcript, as in the auto-generated YouTube transcript. And at the very end, one of you says, peace out. A few seconds later, there is a transcription of thank you. But I don't hear either of you saying thank you at the time. Could it have been an EVP that only the transcription app picked up?
Oh my God.
I read that and I was like, what?
Did you go back and look at it?
I did. So I went back to that episode on YouTube and I was like scrolling through the transcription. And there's definitely a thank you written on the transcription. And neither of us are talking. Like it's just the music there. And so on the video itself, it's also on the closed captioning, which was auto-generated.
As well, yeah.
So it's like we say our goodbyes, the music plays a few seconds, and then you just see thank you come across the screen. And it's wild.
That is crazy. And it doesn't just do that like as a thing. You know what I mean? Like at the end of it, maybe it just says thank you to say they're done.
No.
It doesn't. Okay.
No, it's
Ew.
Just that episode. It's wild. It's weird.
Kate, you were surrounded by ghosts.
I like to think it was our ghost from the Pfister just saying like, hey, thanks for letting me be on the show.
You know, thanks for being here. Thanks for telling our story.
Exactly. I really like to think that they were giving us a shout out just like we gave them a shout out on the episode.
Yeah. Shout out from the afterlife.
Woo woo. Because that was a crazy experience.
I remember.
And then there were a couple of other episodes she commented on where she said she could hear something, but it wasn't one of us. Like in one, I say something like some good, some bad. I don't remember what episode this is. I didn't write this down, but you and I both start talking right after I say some good, some bad. But in the background, she said she could hear someone whisper, bad, 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 bad. Yeah.
No.
And she said, it couldn't have been one of us. So I listened to it, and the first time around, I didn't really hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and listened again, and I do hear what sounds like whispering. It's very faint, but there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
And then in another episode, she hears a man grumbling at one point, and it's not you.
I was going to say, that's probably me.
It's definitely not you. And I mean, to be fair, it could have been Matt down the hall, like clearing his throat.
Sure.
But it could have been a demon. Who knows?
Right.
It's exciting.
We've talked. I mean, I'm getting chills right now. Like, that's kind of scary.
I hope so. I love it.
I love it too, but also we've talked about so many like cursed and evil things.
I know.
Why wouldn't we bring something up?
I would feel honored if this show had a ghost that was just like lurking throughout our episodes and being like, what'd that bitch say?
Right.
You know?
I like it too. It's like a third reactor.
I love it.
Here just, around.
I thought those were fun. So thanks for pointing those out, Jennifer.
Thank
and
you,
we're
Jennifer.
glad you're enjoying the episodes.
Keep listening. Like, keep letting us know.
Yeah. And please literally go and tell every single person you know to listen to Horrorwood. Helps us out a lot.
Yeah. That would also be an interesting, like, story prompt for our listeners. Have you ever had any weird technical things happen that you couldn't explain?
Ooh, I like it.
Right?
All right. Officially, that is this week's Misfit Tale prompt.
Has a TV just turned on? Did you hear like a weird voice on the radio? I'm trying to think if I have any stories like that.
I remember, so the college dorm that I lived in my freshman year, and I wonder if my roommate Erin remembers this. Erin is on our Patreon. So Erin, if you're listening, chime in, because I feel like I'm remembering this correctly, but like our like stereos would turn on randomly, or the door would close or open with no one around it. And I just remember like weird stuff happening. And that dorm, if I am not mistaken, someone did take their life in that, like dozens of years ago, because it's an old school.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened like in the way back times.
Okay.
But I do remember like weird shit happening, and then like reading about some of the things that went on in that school. Erin, comment on this if you know what I'm talking about, because yeah, I do remember that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, not to pivot too hard, but there's a movie coming out, and I think you and I should totally go see it.
Ooh.
It's called Undertone.
And
it's a new A24. It was already made, but A24 picked it up to distribute.
Gotcha.
Because it started making all the rounds at horror festivals, and people are calling it like the scariest movie they've seen in years.
Oh, wow.
And it's about a podcaster who podcasts about paranormal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She's at home working, like taking care of her dying mother, and they come across these recordings of this like pregnant couple, and they keep listening to it on the podcast, and then crazy shit starts to happen.
Ooh.
I'll send you the trailer.
Okay.
It looks insane.
I feel like I've heard about it, either from you or like I saw a trailer or something, because it sounds very familiar.
Well, the first trailer that came out was just like the sound waves, like a picture of sound waves.
Sure.
And it was like children singing Baba Black Sheep, but backwards.
Fuck no.
Right?
No. Immediate no thank
we
you.
have to go see it, though. It's about our profession.
It's about our profession. Our profession of listening to
listening
pregnant
to ghosts.
couples.
Well, no, but I think there's something like nefarious that happens.
Well, I would assume.
I don't know exactly. They're kind of keeping the plot like
sure
a little under
as they
wraps.
should. I hate when they give too much away.
Exactly. So I'm super excited. March 13th.
Oh, that's coming up.
Yeah.
You know what else is coming up?
What?
The Oscars.
Yeah.
I really hope Jessie Buckley wins for
Okay.
Hamnet. That is like that's my the one I'm rooting for.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any like I really hope this movie wins, or I really hope that this person wins?
I'm kind of indifferent this year.
Okay.
That's
fair.
I still haven't seen enough of the movies
Sure.
to have like a full opinion.
Okay.
If I still want to see is it A Sentimental Man or the Sentiment? I can't remember the name. It's Elle Fanning.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen that one.
I haven't either. I want to see that one really bad.
I do really like Elle Fanning. She's great.
Too. I really do too. I did love One Battle After Another.
That one I still haven't seen. I gotta watch it.
Loved that movie.
I hear that from everybody.
And of course Frankenstein, which I've mentioned a bunch already, but love.
Yeah, we've got Oscars. We've got the Actor Awards, which used to be called the SAG Awards. That's just in a few days. We are in the thick of awards season.
Yeah.
Grammys were earlier this month. I watched them, but like I did not know 95% of those artists because middle age.
Lady Gaga won Best Pop Vocal Album.
Oh, good. I know her.
Yeah, see?
Speaking of the Grammys, this case that I'm going to talk about today begins on the night of the Grammy Awards 25 years ago.
Ooh.
This is a very famous case. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about the serial killer who was given the nickname the Hollywood Ripper.
The Ripper.
Yes, it's a multi-parter.
We already knew this.
It's too big of a case not to be.
It's too not, yeah.
There are multiple victims, and you can't do their stories justice by summing everything up in an hour. So it'll be at least 2 parts. Can't make promises that there won't be more.
I'm going to place a bet that it's going to be 3.
Okay, that's probably a pretty safe bet.
I'm not mad at it. This is a crazy story. I only know bits and pieces.
Yeah, it's really, really disturbing on so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to dive in and, hold on tight.
Okay.
On the night of the Grammys, Wednesday, February 21st, 2001, it's weird that they were on a Wednesday because I feel like award shows are always on a Sunday. At least they are nowadays anyway. But on that night, 22-year-old Ashley Ellerin was at her home, a bungalow in Hollywood that she shared with another female, and she was finalizing her plans for her date that evening with actor Ashton Kutcher.
Love.
Really?
No.
You don't trust.
I used to. When in the thick of his fame.
Okay.
Like when he was with Demi and stuff. And Punked. And that movie he did with Brittany Murphy.
Okay.
Okay, I'll shut up now. I'm going to hate him, right?
Your opinion might change throughout.
Oh, it will.
In 2001, Ashton Kutcher was already a series regular on that 70s show. Dude, Where's My Car had just come out the year prior, so he was a celebrity at this point, but still relatively new to the scene. He's up and coming. Ashley met Ashton 2 months prior, in December of 2000, at a friend's birthday party. There seemed to be a spark between them, but Ashton was dating someone else at the time, so he introduced Ashley to a friend of his. And Ashley ended up hitting it off with this friend, and they started dating. But neither of those relationships worked out, and by February the following year, they were both single and began hanging out more. Ashton asked her if she would be his date to a Grammys after party, and she agreed. God. So they had planned to grab dinner and drinks beforehand. You said, oh my God, like that was the most amazing thing ever.
A Grammys party? Kate.
You would have the best time.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Because you actually know musical artists, whereas I would be like, who's that?
I'd be like, Kate, let me tell you. Let me give you the rundown. We're going to
It'd be like in Devil Wears Prada, where Anne Hathaway's character has to like fill in on all the people when they're at that party.
Hey, I should look into being PR because I could just go around to like, okay, so this person is XYZ. And
if you want to do PR, can you also do it for our show?
I was going to say,
because we could use it.
Maybe that's where it starts. Career pivot.
There you go. So they were going to get dinner and drinks before this party. On February 21st, she called him earlier in the evening to solidify plans, and he had been invited to a friend's house to watch the Grammys. So she was like, oh, should I just come over there and meet you there? And he's like, no, I'll just meet you at your place. At 8:24, he called her to say he was running late and wouldn't be able to get dinner, so they should just get drinks instead. She was fine with that. She was like, no problem. I actually just got out of the shower, so like I still need to dry my hair. I got to get ready and stuff. And he was like, cool, I'll pick you up at 10 p.m. And they hung up. And that was the last time he ever spoke to her.
Oh my God.
Around 10 p.m., he called to tell her he was going to be even later, which, what are you doing, Ashton? Like, I would be so annoyed. I'd be like, how many times are you going to delay this date?
I know. And it's already 10 p.m. Like, that's late to begin with.
I mean, knowing that it was a Grammys after party.
Oh, well, then they're going to early hours in the morning.
So, yeah, because I thought the same thing. I was like, fuck, 10 p.m. Like, I'd be asleep. But they're in their early 20s, so they can handle it. It's the Grammys night. Like, 10 p.m. was like early. You know what I mean?
Early for them, totally.
Yeah.
I remember those days. Leaving for the club at 11:30 p.m.
The clerk. club.
In the club. We all fam.
I can't even fathom those days anymore. Like, I used to do that in college. Like,
yeah, same.
Get ready. Start getting ready at 9 p.m. Start getting ready. Oh my God. I was out with some people the other day. We were having brunch and they were mentioning a movie and I was like, oh, what time does the movie play? And the guy said 9. And I was like, at night? Like it starts at 9? Because I can't. No.
Oop.
So he calls her to tell her he's running even later, but she didn't answer. And he tried a couple more times, but she never picked up. And he was thinking, okay, well, maybe it's like bad cell service.
Sure.
This is also kind of early days of cell phones. And like cell service wasn't quite what it is now. Plus, she lived not like up in the hills, but kind of in the Hollywood Hills where like, it's some places are spotty.
I had a dream last night that I just remembered.
Tell me.
You and I were in LA.
Okay.
And we were driving around. I don't know who was driving. It wasn't one of us.
Oh.
But I remember we were on a side of a hill or a mountain and we went around it and I saw half the Hollywood sign. And I was like, Kate, it's the Hollywood sign. And you were like, yeah. And that was it.
I think that just means that we've got to get you out to LA.
Yes.
We're going to make that happen.
Okay, let's do it. I'm into it.
Yeah. So he decides he's just going to drive over to her house. Finally, at 10:45 p.m., he arrives. He saw that her maroon BMW was parked in the driveway and the lights inside were on, so he went up and knocked on the door, but she didn't answer. He would later testify that he tried opening the door, but it was locked, so he peered in through a front window where he saw what appeared to him to be red wine spilled on the floor. He said he thought nothing of this because she hosted a lot of parties. In fact, he had been to one of her parties just a few days prior, so some wine spilled on the floor wasn't entirely out of the ordinary. He said that he assumed she had gotten fed up with waiting for him, which wouldn't blame her, and had gone ahead and left. And he said he thought she was just brushing him off, at which point he left and he went to the party. We will talk more about Ashton Kutcher when we get to the trial, which won't be today. He did not kill Ashley. That's not what I'm getting at, just to be clear. But what he says he saw here becomes extremely important.
Wow.
And controversial.
Wow. The red wine? What he thought was red wine.
The whole story.
The whole thing. Shit.
The following morning, around 9:15 a.m., Ashley's roommate Jennifer DeSisto returned home after spending the night at her boyfriend's. So if you walk into the front door of this house and go immediately to the left, like you kind of walk into like a living area, go immediately to the left, there's like 4 steps that lead up to a hallway, like a landing, which leads to the bathroom, bedrooms, and closets and stuff. Jennifer, upon returning home, saw Ashley lying on her back in this hallway just outside the bathroom. When Jen first saw her, sometimes she's referred to as Jennifer, sometimes Jen. We're talking about the same person here.
Okay.
She thought Ashley was playing a prank because apparently she was known to joke around a lot and mess with her friends. When Jen walked closer to her, she saw that this wasn't a prank and that Ashley was clearly dead.
Oh.
Ashley's skin was an unnatural color. She was covered in blood. And there was a trail of blood coming from her nose and her mouth. There was blood all over the carpet and the walls. It was a gruesome scene. Jen became hysterical because she thought, fuck, what if the person who did this is still in the house?
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't know what she's just walked into. So she runs outside, gets in her car, and from there she called 911. Police and paramedics arrived a few minutes later at approximately 9:28 a.m. and pronounced Ashley dead at the scene. Hollywood homicide detective Tom Small was assigned to the case. He told Maureen Maher of 48 Hours, quote, "It was a very bad scene. A lot of anger, a lot of rage."
Wow.
When they did their initial exam of Ashley's body, just like there at the scene, detectives noted multiple stab and cut type wounds, and her throat had been slashed to the point where she was nearly decapitated.
Holy fucking shit. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is horrific.
Yes. This was incredibly brutal. Detective Small said she appeared to have been posed. So she was lying face up with her right arm folded and resting on her chest, and her left hand was resting on her left thigh, and that hand was cupped, but with her index finger pointing towards her crotch.
Ugh.
Very odd. It was an odd scene, but Detective Small felt like whoever did this did that on purpose. Like, that's how this person wanted the police to find her. She was wearing a light green bathrobe, a blue tank top, and blue shorts, which wasn't what she had planned to wear to go out. That's just what she threw on after she got out of the shower. And it's those kind of details that stick with me because she was in the middle of getting ready. Like, you don't do your hair and makeup in the clothes you're going to go out in, you know, because you don't want to get anything on them. So she puts on her tank top and her shorts. She's got her robe. Her hair dryer was still out. It was sitting on top of the toilet seat. So I don't even think she'd had a chance to dry her hair once she got off the phone with Ashton at 8:24. Because remember, she said she just got out of the shower. She needs to dry her hair and get ready. It was like she had just gotten the hair dryer out to use.
Wow.
And the outfit that she was planning to wear to the party was all set out. This was also going to be her first date with Ashton. They'd hung out before, but only as friends. There are a lot of reports out there that say she was Ashton's girlfriend. Not the case. This was their first date.
Got it. Okay.
Detectives noticed she was wearing diamond stud earrings and a gold necklace, and there was $300 in cash on the bathroom sink in plain view. So robbery didn't seem to be a motive here.
Right.
There was no forced entry to the residence. In fact, it seemed like a very secure house because you have to go through a gate to get to the steps that lead to the front door. And at the time that Ashley was living there, every single window and the doors had bars on them.
Wow.
So it's not like someone could break through a kitchen window. They would need like a chainsaw or something, you know? And no one had tried to break through these bars.
Okay.
So it became pretty clear that whoever did this knew Ashley and had access to the house, or she let them in, which is so scary.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. To think that, like, it could be someone she knew.
Well, that was my first thought, was like, if there's no forced entry, maybe she knew this person.
Yeah. It's so creepy.
Wild.
When the autopsy report came back, it showed that Ashley had been stabbed 47 times. In the head, neck, chest, back, and left leg. And on the back of her head, she suffered a skull fracture.
Overkill. Complete overkill.
Absolutely.
Like, I can't even imagine.
Yes. The coroner noted that based on the direction and angle of the wounds, the perpetrator was likely left-handed. So that gives detectives something to go on. Her trachea was severed, as were her right carotid artery and right jugular vein. There was a stab wound through her cervical spine, like through her cervical spine, and multiple stab wounds that went through her back, through her ribs, and into her lungs. This was rage. This is vicious.
There's just so much hatred there. That it is unfathomable. I need to take a drink of water.
Sure.
My God. I had that, you know when you have the runny nose? I had that yesterday.
The way that you just described that, like you didn't know what it was called.
I've never experienced it.
You know when you have that runny nose?
They were Old Maiden type of shoes.
Bringing it back. So just the viciousness with which this was done suggested someone very strong, because to stab someone that many times with that much force, you have to have some muscle because you're going to get tired. So you've got to have the stamina.
Yes.
Ashley was only 5'4" and 123 pounds.
Whoa.
She was very petite.
Yeah.
But she fought hard.
Wow.
She had defense wounds on both hands as well as her right forearm. In her right hand, there were several small strands of hair that were dried in blood.
Oh.
Hair, fingernail, and sexual assault kits were collected at the scene. They collected blood samples, dusted for fingerprints inside and outside the home. So they got a lot of DNA evidence and sent it off to be analyzed. While they waited for those results, which would take months, detectives talked to her friends and neighbors in the area to find out if anyone had seen or heard anything the night that Ashley was killed. And it turns out someone had. Directly across the street from Ashley's house is a dog park. I mean, it's right there. It's like Ashley's house, street, and it's not a wide street. It's not like a main road. It's just a small side street. And then dog park. That evening, a man was out walking his dog and was about to enter that park when all of a sudden he heard what he described as a high shriek.
Oh.
His dog alerted and looked over at Ashley's house and would not stop barking.
Wow.
The man looked over toward the house but didn't see anything unusual. So he's just like telling his dog, okay, buddy, let's go. Come on. Like trying to get the dog just to chill out and follow him. But the dog would not stop. That's when the man said he heard a shrill scream. He looked over, didn't see anything, but did tell detectives this really unnerved him. And then he just left. Didn't call police, didn't tell anyone, just decided to skip the dog park and go home. And I know that there's that part in people of not wanting to get involved, but you hear a woman screaming, your dog is freaking out, and you just go home. I mean, dogs know. Dogs will tell you every time. And it's not like this was a busy, loud street with lots of traffic. Ashley lived close to Hollywood and Highland, which has been nicknamed the Times Square of Los Angeles. Like there's clubs and restaurants around there. I mean, it's not nearly the size of Times Square, but you know, that itself is a busy area. But Ashley's house was tucked back up a little ways, like off the beaten path, and it was a relatively quiet neighborhood. So a woman screaming from her home should raise a red flag or several.
I would think so.
Just call the police. You can do it anonymously.
Bare minimum.
And if you're wrong and nothing is happening in that house, great. You called the police and everyone was fine.
Right.
No one was getting murdered. That's okay. Nothing to be embarrassed about. In fact, that's kind of ideal. That's actually what you want.
Right.
You want everybody to be okay.
Totally, 100%.
But if you hear a woman screaming and you call the police and it turns out she was being attacked, guess what? Maybe the cops can actually get there in time to see the killer running away. Maybe they can even be early enough to save the victim. In Ashley's case, I don't think it could have saved her.
I was going to say probably not.
But I do think they might have been able to find her killer much sooner than they did. The man with the dog did tell detectives that he heard the screams at about 8:25, 8:30 that night. Ashton Kutcher talked with her on the phone at 8:24.
I was going to say, that's like a 6-minute window, right?
Yeah.
That's insane.
So that means that if those screams were in fact from her being attacked, which I do believe they were.
Totally.
She was killed right after she hung up the phone.
Yeah.
So terrifying.
I hate it.
Because detectives believed whoever killed Ashley knew her and or had access to her house, they interviewed her property manager, Mark Durbin. Mark Durbin was also an actor with a few co-star roles on some TV shows, but that wasn't enough to pay the bills, hence property management.
Totally.
As the property manager, he would have a key to Ashley's place and would know if anyone else did. When detectives talked to Mark, he said he had been in Ashley's house the night that she was killed. He said he went over there around 7 p.m. to fix a ceiling fan. And then he offered up that he and Ashley had a secret sexual relationship going on, and he said that in fact they had had sex that night. But according to Detective Small, Mark insisted that he left at 8:15 p.m., which would be before the man with the dog heard the screams. So the detective was like, all right, well, thanks for all that information.
What the fuck?
We'll be in touch, I guess.
Did the kit they did reveal that she had had sex or was sexually assaulted?
No.
Okay.
And so we'll talk about
That's weird.
that. Yeah.
I know you'll probably get more into it, but...
Yeah. Detective Small felt like Mark was potentially a suspect.
You think?
Given all of that information.
Yeah, I was over there fixing a ceiling fan and we had sex.
And also, I was only there for like an hour. Turns out it just happened to be the hour before she was killed.
Right.
But I did leave approximately 10 minutes before she died.
8:15. Weird.
Yeah. But unfortunately, the detective didn't have any of the DNA evidence back yet, so he couldn't charge Mark with anything.
Right.
Detective Small knew that in order to zero in on who might have killed her, he needed to get to know as much about her as possible, which is what we're going to do. Ashley Ellerin was born on July 16th, 1978. She and her younger brother Seth grew up in Somerset County, New Jersey. Literally every person in Jersey just said, fuck you guys.
They told us to eat shit.
It's an affluent area with really good schools. It's got a quiet, rural feel to it. The kind of place where neighbors look out for each other and you kind of know all the people around you. There's a lot of green space and parks. It looks really pretty. I was looking at pictures of it online. It's like gorgeous. And it's considered one of the best places to live in New Jersey.
Isn't Jersey known as the Garden State?
Yes.
Okay.
So that tracks.
That tracks.
Look at that connection.
Hey.
And it's exactly why Ashley's parents, Mike and Cynthia, thought it would be the perfect place to raise their kids. Even as a young kid, Ashley was bursting with confidence. She was not shy. She was one of those kids who could make friends with anyone, never met a stranger. One of the friends she met was a girl named Carolyn Murnick. I am only mentioning her because she ended up writing a book on this case.
Whoa.
Ashley and Carolyn quickly became inseparable. They did everything together. They wore matching outfits. They both played piano and performed in the same piano recitals. They played duets together. But as the girls got a little older, they began to naturally grow apart.
Sure.
They had different interests, and Carolyn ended up going to a different school. After Ashley's murder, Carolyn wrote a book called The Hot One, a memoir of friendship, sex, and murder. And by the look on Kevin's face, yes, that was my reaction as well.
What?
His face just said, "Excuse me?"
Wait, repeat that title?
The Hot One, a memoir of friendship, sex, and murder. Yeah, I'm just as uncomfortable as you are, which is why I could not finish this fucking book.
You read some of it?
Some of it. I just couldn't finish it. I will say Carolyn is a journalist, a magazine editor. She's been very successful in her own right. Her career is in the literary world, so it makes sense that she would write a book about this case, given that she used to be friends with Ashley. The reason I could not finish this is because what I did read felt like she was inserting herself into the story despite not having been friends with Ashley in the last years of her life. They did see each other about 8 months before Ashley died. That was the last time they talked. And prior to that, it had been like a few years. It was one of those, like, I think Ashley was going to be in town. She flew out to New York where Carolyn was living, and they hung out for a couple days.
It feels kind of yucky.
It does. Thank you. But because she wrote this book, she's been interviewed a lot, and People Magazine Investigates did an episode on this case, and Carolyn appears on that. So something about that just gives me the ick factor. Like, a lot of these media outlets have contacted her because they're like, oh, she knew her. She wrote this book. And so they have her on or they interview her. And I don't know. It's just, who am I to say?
It feels like a sort of a pick-me situation. Like, she took this high-profile case because of what it was linked to and who it was linked to, just in that world. And then she's like, I knew her. And then she, like, goes and does this. And I just, icky.
She did reach out to Ashley's parents multiple times to try to interview them for the book. They never responded to her.
Yeah.
Which also says a lot to me.
It does.
She seems to be in love with Ashley, but also extremely jealous of her. And also it seems like she wanted to be Ashley and have her confidence and get the attention she received. She kind of reminds me of the dynamic of Janice Ian and Regina George from Mean Girls. Like, that's That's the dynamic.
I get it immediately.
Yes. And it's just weird that she's become like this spokesperson for Ashley via these media outlets because they were friends when they were 9.
Right.
She wasn't a part of Ashley's life as they got older. But I mention her because she did write a book on the case, and surprisingly, there aren't as many books out there as I would have thought there would be. And the ones that are out there, I don't really recommend. There's one by Edward Hutton, which I'm already returning because it is so full of grammatical and factual errors. I think it was self-published. Don't waste your money.
Okay.
I'm not linking it. But back to Ashley. As she started getting a little older, she got interested in art and fashion, and these seemed to be her passions. She also had what was described as a very eclectic taste in music. When she was in high school, she hosted a radio hour music show playing only Grateful Dead music.
Oh, wow.
And she loved it.
Love.
Then during her sophomore year, her family moved all the way across the country to Los Altos, California, which is about 45 minutes south of San Francisco.
Gotcha.
So they're in Northern California. For a lot of teenagers, having to uproot your life, leave all your friends, leave everything you know behind, that can be really tough.
Yeah.
Especially for a 15-year-old girl when your body's changing, your hormones are all over the place. But not for Ashley.
Wow.
She was so easygoing, full of charisma. Like, that is something that multiple people talk about in their interviews about her, is her charisma. People gravitated toward her, and she made friends really easily. And I know that sounds like all of these cliches, like she was the life of the party. She lit up the room. Yeah. But if you look at pictures of her that are online, it looks like she's always mid-celebration.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, every smile is just like the happiest time of her life. Like, she is loving life.
I love that for her.
Yeah, she was super popular. And I think a big part of that is because she seemed genuinely kind. Like I said before, she could make friends with anyone. It didn't matter what kind of home life you had, what your background was. She didn't care if you were gay, straight, rich, poor. What she cared about was having fun and enjoying life. And those are attractive qualities. No one wants to hang out with someone who always has something negative to say. You want to hang with the person who looks like she's having the time of her life. So people were drawn to her.
Okay.
In high school, her passion for art and fashion deepened. And after graduating, she moved to Los Angeles and enrolled in the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, or FIDM as it's sometimes called. Quick little background on FIDM.
Ooh.
The main campus was in LA and it had 3 satellite campuses throughout California. It was the location for a season of Project Runway, as well as multiple Project Runway spinoffs, including Under the Gun, Project Runway Junior, Project Runway Threads, and several alumni from FIDM went on to compete on Project Runway.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, it also had a museum on campus that featured costumes from theater productions and films and TV shows. However, in recent years, it ran into financial issues. Enrollment dropped. And so in 2023, it merged with Arizona State University randomly.
Oh, okay.
And the LA campus officially closed in March of last year.
Oh, no.
But it definitely gave a lot of people their start in the fashion industry, who then went on to become costume designers and fashion designers, which is exactly the career that Ashley was interested in.
Fantastic. I saw Winifred Sanderson's costume from Hocus Pocus at the Planet Hollywood in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Look at you. I saw Julia Roberts' Pretty Woman costume, the white shirt with the blue skirt and the boots, at a Planet Hollywood in Florida.
Oh my God.
Okay, Planet Hollywood.
Okay, Planet Hollywood.
You know what else I saw at that same Planet Hollywood? They had the figure, like the claymation figurines from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Now that's cool.
It was awesome. They were so tiny.
Do Planet Hollywood still exist?
I don't know. I was just wondering the same thing.
Oh, we have some research to do.
Sure do. But back to Ashley. When she moved to Los Angeles, her mom bought herself and Ashley matching horseshoe necklaces so that even though they were miles and miles apart, Ashley could wear that necklace or rub the horseshoe and it would be like getting some good luck from her mom.
That's amazing and beautiful and wonderful. I just had a funny thought. What was the girl's name who wrote the book?
Carolyn Mernick.
Carolyn. I just imagine she also gets like a horseshoe necklace and she's like, me too.
Oh my God.
Me too.
I have no doubt that Carolyn will listen to this, but I said what I said.
Hey, you can have your opinion.
And I did not finish the book, so maybe she does redeem herself, and maybe there's a reason why she brings up some of the things that she does in the book, which we'll go on to talk about. But, you know, just my opinion.
Totally.
That's my opinion!
That's my opinion!
The thing with the horseshoe necklace from her mom hit me pretty hard because when I moved to Los Angeles, my mom gave me a horseshoe necklace for good luck.
Do you still have it?
Yeah. I used to wear that thing every day, all the time, until one of the little diamonds fell out, which in hindsight, I guess I should have seen as a sign that was like, girl, LA is not right for you.
Shit.
But yeah, so as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my God, my mom did the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. That just like hit me.
Yeah, of course.
Ashley was really close with her family, even once she was independent and doing her thing in LA. Like they were a tight-knit group. It was while she was enrolled in FIDM that she moved into her Hollywood bungalow. This was in the fall of 2000.
Okay.
That's another thing. She'd only lived in that house a few months before her death. The house was the perfect place for her to entertain, which she loved to do. Girl knew how to throw a party.
Yep.
There would sometimes be dozens of people there because Ashley had a wide social circle. She had her friends from the Fashion Institute. She worked part-time at Sephora, so she had her coworker friends.
Oh, dream.
I know.
Dream.
I can see you working at Sephora.
I could never do the makeup, but I'll tell you what moisturizer you need.
She was becoming acquainted with quite a few celebrities, be it through mutual friends, going out to clubs, wherever. I mean, you live in Hollywood, you're going to encounter a celebrity at some point. That's just life there. And one thing that her one-time best friend, Carolyn, brings up is that Ashley had found that working as a dancer at strip clubs and working as an escort paid a lot more than Sephora, which, yes, facts. She would sometimes get called to fly out to Vegas for the weekend and dance at a bachelor party, so she made contacts through that as well. It's the way Carolyn describes this aspect of Ashley's life that turned me off of her book.
Ah, I see.
She writes things like, Ashley really changed. Did Ashley's lifestyle have something to do with her murder? For the record, no, it did not. And Ashley is a grown woman. She found a way to support herself. Nothing wrong with it. Carolyn also writes that Ashley got into drugs. Did that have something to do with her murder? Carolyn asks. Again, no, it did not.
Okay.
Maybe she experimented with drugs, but just for the record, her autopsy report states she was tested for alcohol and drugs and none were detected. And as we'll go on to learn, none of that has anything to do with her death.
Got it. Is this the Hollywood Ripper case solved?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That I don't think I knew.
Oh, yeah, it's solved.
Fabulous.
Ashley was briefly linked to Vin Diesel as well as Jeremy Sisto. She was a beautiful girl. Like, she's attracting some big names.
Jeremy Sisto.
Did you love him in Clueless?
Loved him in everything. He's in this really crazy movie. I'm going to recommend it to everybody. It's called May with Angela Bettis.
Okay.
And him. Angela Bettis kind of plays this shut-in character who's living in LA. She works as a vet tech with Anna Faris.
Okay.
And yeah, she goes a little crazy and starts to make her own, doll that's going to love her.
Oh.
It's so weird and it's so good and I love it.
All right. Maybe I'll have to check that out. I haven't heard of it.
It's wild.
Okay.
In the best way.
Okay. That was kind of Ashley, too. She was wild in the best way. Girl loved to have fun. And again, she had charisma and personality by the boatloads. So it's easy to see how she attracted so many celebrities as well as non-celebrities. So on any given night, Ashley and her friends could be found partying, hanging out at her house. The house itself, though, it did need some work.
Okay.
It sounds like it was kind of a fixer-upper and needed some renovations. And Ashley's dad, Mike, being a protective father and wanting to make sure his daughter was living in a safe home, offered to help her and her roommates with some home improvement projects. I think it needed some paint. The house phone wasn't working. Like I mentioned earlier, the ceiling fan needed to be fixed. There were just a lot of odd jobs that needed some attention.
Yeah.
And her dad was like, I can't let my baby girl live like that. I'm going to fly down to LA and I'm going to help her out. So on the morning of February 21st, 2001, that's where he was. At his daughter Ashley's house in LA, helping her fix it up.
Oh.
They spent the majority of the day together, but it was his last day in town. So at 5 o'clock that evening, Ashley dropped her dad off at the airport and he flew back to Los Altos. 3.5 hours later, Ashley was murdered.
Oh, God, that's awful.
I can't even begin to fathom what her dad must have felt when he found out. Like, what do you mean? She said, I just came from there.
Yeah.
And knowing the whole reason he was there was to make sure she was safe and protected in her home. I can't. News of Ashley's murder traveled quickly among her friends. Detective Small obviously talked to these friends in an effort to learn more about Ashley and to find out if they knew anyone who might have wanted her dead. They couldn't think of anyone because she was the kind of girl who didn't have enemies. Like I said before, she was friends with everyone, never met a stranger. But there was one guy that had been around that did give them the creeps. Ashley's friend Chris Duran was the first to meet this guy a few months prior in the fall of 2000. Chris was standing on the street outside of Ashley's house, changing a flat tire on his car, when a man he described as good-looking comes walking from the dog park up the street. He did not have a dog with him, but he's coming from the dog park. It's just a little odd. He says to Chris, hey, I see you got a problem here. Maybe I can help change the tire. At that same moment, Ashley came out of her house, presumably to help Chris with the tire, I think. The guy sees Ashley and zeroes in on her, and the two of them strike up a conversation. And Chris could see they had a flirtation going on, so he told the guy, you know what, actually, I'm good. I can change a tire myself. Like, you know, I get that you want to talk to her instead.
Totally.
Because he could tell that guy was interested in Ashley. The guy introduced himself as Mike, not to be confused with Ashley's dad, Mike, and told them he was a heating and air conditioning repairman. He and Ashley exchanged numbers, and Chris didn't really think much about him at the time, just that he was a good-looking guy who was kind enough to offer help with a tire. She and her friends didn't know his last name. They just knew him as Mike the Furnace Man.
Hey.
Mike the Furnace Man started calling Ashley's house constantly.
Whoa.
She wasn't really interested in him romantically, but was always friendly to him.
Sure.
Mike would randomly show up on her doorstep and she'd let him in. He'd hang around for a while, talking to her and her roommates and her friends. And he always had some bizarre story to tell about his life.
Uh-huh.
He often bragged to them that he was about to become super rich. He'd say, yeah, I'm expecting a multi-million-dollar settlement from a truck accident that happened down the street there. But then provide no further details, like how the accident happened, whether or not he was injured, why so much money, like random.
That's crazy. Also sounds like a bit of a compulsive liar.
Yeah, I think he might
Maybe
have
a little
exaggerated
bit.
some things there.
Exaggeration.
Ashley and her friends would just kind of brush him off because he always had some like wild, weird tale that felt a little off. And they were just like, okay, whatever. That's just Mike the Furnace Man. So she didn't think much of it, but he was definitely starting to creep her friends out. Then he started parking his green Ford pickup truck on the street just outside her house, and he would just sit there. It didn't matter if it was 7 a.m. or midnight. It was like always these odd times. Justin Peterson, a friend of Ashley's who is described as also being a roommate of hers along with Jennifer DeSisto, noticed Mike parked out there one day and was like, what is this guy doing? So the next time Mike showed up on their doorstep, Justin was like, yeah, sure, dude, come on in, I guess. And I don't think Ashley was home at this time. When Mike was inside, Justin confronted him about parking on their street. He was like, what are you doing out there?
Yeah.
And Mike said, oh, I'm just laying low. The police and FBI are looking for me because they think I committed some murder in Chicago and they want to get my DNA. He just says
that out loud.
Then he pulls up his pant leg and shows Justin a hunting knife that he had strapped to his ankle. So Justin was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you need to go. I don't want any part of this.
Yeah, no.
Imagine having someone in your house who casually just drops, hey, the FBI wants my DNA, and then proceeds to show you a hunting knife strapped to their ankle.
I don't know how I would react in that situation.
I don't either.
I don't know
like,
if I'd go like fight or just like, oh, wow.
Oh,
how crazy and interesting.
Neat. So why do they want your DNA again? I might have some questions.
I'm going to go into like,
Tell me more.
Right.
Keep talking. Let me go get my phone. I'm not recording this. Totally not recording it,
right.
but keep talking.
Self-preservation mode.
So Justin mentioned this story to Ashley, but she didn't seem concerned about it because Mike the Furnace Man always seemed to be full of shit. Like, he was always telling wild stories, and it just felt like he was telling another crazy tale for attention or whatever. Mike managed to stay around kind of just on the outskirts of Ashley's social circle. Whenever she threw a party, he always happened to show up uninvited. And when he'd go to a party at her house, he'd walk in, sit on the couch, not speak to anyone, just sit in silence and stare at Ashley the whole time.
Okay, this is giving major stalker vibes.
It creeped everyone out. So when Detective Small questioned Ashley's friends, they were like, yeah, Mike the Furnace Man was a real creep. They still didn't have his last name.
Whoa.
But they mentioned the weird stories he would tell, like, hey, I'm laying low because the FBI are after me. I'm about to become a multimillionaire because of a traffic accident.
I'm wanted in Chicago for murder.
But without a last name, that didn't really give Detective Small much to go on.
Sure.
Especially since there was such a wide social group of people that he needed to look at. So Mike the Furnace Man ended up on the back burner of the investigation. Months went by with no leads. Finally, the DNA results came in. All of the DNA evidence came back to Ashley.
What?
No one else. Not even Ashton Kutcher's fingerprints on the doorknob or the roommates. Like, how?
What?
I don't get it. I tried looking this up. Yeah, the prosecution did not submit any fingerprint evidence or anything in the trial because nothing came back to anyone but Ashley.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Considering she put up such a fight, you think there'd be something.
Thank you. And there wasn't even anything from Mark Durbin, who admitted to having sex with Ashley that night. I will say, I mean, they probably used a condom, so that would be part of it. And she showered right after. So that was the only thing I could think, okay, well, maybe that's why Mark isn't on there. But how are you not getting anyone else from that house? Especially given how many people come and go through that house.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
I don't get that. That seems weird to me.
This was 2001, so they do have technology. It's not super advanced like it is now, but it's there. That still baffles me.
Strange.
Yeah.
That's really strange.
So Detective Small was pissed that he didn't get anything from that. And he's also extremely frustrated. So he did the only thing he could do, which was go back through all the interviews and evidence to see if something stood out. 2001 rolls into 2002, and Small is just like, what am I missing? He went back over the story that Ashley's friends had relayed to him about Mike the Furnace Man being involved in a traffic accident that had occurred down the street. So Small ran every traffic-related incident in the area. But he didn't find any lawsuit whatsoever involving a guy named Mike.
Ugh.
He did, however, find an incident where a guy had filed a report stating someone almost hit his pit bull. According to the report, the owner of the pit bull was 25-year-old Michael Thomas Gargiulo, who lived in an apartment on Orchid Avenue, 400 feet from Ashley Ellerin's bungalow.
Oh, my God.
So Detective Small's like, that's weird.
Interesting.
There was a copy of Gargiulo's driver's license with the report, so Small takes that photo and shows it to Ashley's friends. And they said, that's Mike the Furnace Man. So obviously Detective Small wanted to talk to Gargiulo, but when he went to the address on the driver's license, Gargiulo was nowhere to be found.
Ooh.
According to the landlord, he'd moved a while ago and they had no idea where he was. 4 months go by where Small and his partner are searching for this guy with no luck. Then, out of the blue, Detective Small gets a phone call at his office. It's the Cook County Sheriff's Detective from here in Chicago, Detective Lou Sala. Sala tells Small, hey, my partner and I are in town from Chicago hoping you can help us out. And Small says, all right, sure, who are you looking for? And Detective Sala says, Michael Gargiulo. Small says, why don't you come down to my office?
Oh, my God.
So the detectives meet, and Small holds up a picture of Gargiulo and says, is this the guy you're looking for? And Sala says, yeah, how do you know him? And Detective Small said, well, right now he's a potential suspect in a murder investigation. What do you guys have? And we will answer that in part 2.
Damn. Okay. Gargiulo.
In the meantime, you can leave your comments on this episode on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or Spotify at
Horrorwood Podcast.
If you need to say more, you can.
No, it's okay. I'm just like,
no, please.
That was a good cliffhanger.
Or you can send us an email at
horrorwoodpodcast@gmail.com.
And while you're at it, you can send us your misfit tales regarding, I've already forgotten the topic.
Regarding if you had weird technology experiences.
Going crazy.
Weird, scary.
Felt paranormally.
Yeah.
And keep up with the other topics too. It's not like you can only write that topic that week.
Yeah.
Anything like losing a loved one and then feeling or having some weird occurrence after they've passed,
right.
Or
have you lived in a haunted house?
Lived in a haunted house. Did you have a crazy story while you were with a friend, like you had a brush with crime or something?
Death.
That could be. Yeah, send it all to us. We want to hear it. And you can also be like, Jen, our newest yearly subscriber, Misfit Murderino, and subscribe on a number of venues.
Anywhere you go.
Patreon, Apple. I don't have episodes up on you. I think I've got like 2 episodes up on YouTube. It takes a long time to get the YouTube stuff up.
Okay.
So that is going to be a while, but you can subscribe there, and I promise you'll
get the content.
Yes. And hopefully you come back next week where we will be talking about why Detective Lou Sala in Chicago wants to see Michael Gargiulo.
Whoa. Wow, this is crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I want to hear the next part, Kate.
You will in a week.
In a week.